What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to do a video update on contest prep. It's been quite a while since I've actually done one, just because, I don't know, I've been kind of lazy. But contest prep, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 13 weeks out from stepping on stage. Getting really excited. I started back in September 1st, quite a long prep, the longest I've ever done. I started off at 35 weeks out for all 3 shows. So kind of crazy that it's kind of winding down now at this point. My biggest thing for this contest prep was to make sure that the gains that I've made and in my building phase, 18 months away from the stage, can definitely come in looking good when I actually step on stage. I didn't want to go through this process quickly. That's why, I decided, hey, let's go for a long prep, like a longer prep. And, it's crazy to think how much your mind has to be in it to make it through a longer prep. And when you're doing like a shorter prep, like anybody can focus on being strict and structured for 12 weeks. Okay, that's easy. But when you're doing 35 weeks, frick, man, that's like 9 months of your life dieting. But the biggest thing for me was, I know slow and steady preps are the way to go. I tell that to all my clients. I tell that to people that kind of look at me funny when they're like, man, why are you doing it so long? It seems so long. But for me personally, I've seen the benefit of actually doing a longer prep. Here's some of the benefits that I've seen. Personally, strength. I know that we're bodybuilders, we're physique competitors. You don't need to be like super strong in the gym. You don't need to be lifting like a power lifter or Olympic lifter. But honestly, I know it's not, the only factor, but when you're keeping your strength up in your workouts, that's a clear indicator that you're holding on to a good amount of your muscle. Now, it's not completely correlated with that, but for the most part, if you are keeping strength alive, you're keeping a good amount of your muscle, because your body has to adapt, and even though it's not getting as much fuel in the tank that it wants to support that, your body will find a way. And I've definitely clearly seen that, especially during this prep, is my strength for like squats and deadlifts, like the big lifts, even like sometimes like accessory work, which I don't really care about, but more the big lifts, my strength is definitely kept up. And I contribute that to a big part of my programming. So, I'm representing Rab Fitness, Roger and Allie Baker, such amazing people. The support is crazy strong with them. They know exactly, what they're doing. They come from strong backgrounds in helping people get to their goals. And using their program for training, DUP, daily undulating periodization, training 4 days a week, really just focusing on intensity, different intensities, levels throughout the course of the week, and getting tracking overall volume for every lift. It's insane, like just seeing the amount of work that they put into their people, their clients. And but because of that, I feel like I've been able to retain a lot of my strength, but also a good part of my muscle throughout this process. And I think in previous preps, I would get scared of lifting heavy because I didn't want to get injured. I just wasn't really tracking my progress in that capacity, which, I know sounds kind of funny, but I wasn't really tracking like linear progression in the gym. I was just like, let's hit the body parts that I need to hit for the day, and let's get out. Like let's hit more volume in regards to reps versus load. And I feel like this time around, like I am much stronger At this weight, like I'm 161.6 this morning, so I'm down 31.9 pounds, and my strength, pound for pound, I feel like I'm so much stronger than when I was 193.5. It's crazy. It's crazy what you can accomplish when you have the right support system and you have the right frame of mind to back it up. So strength is one of the big benefits throughout a longer prep. The other thing is it correlates, like I already touched on it, but retaining a lot of your muscle. You do a quick and dirty prep, like 12 weeks or 13 weeks, you're putting yourself into an extreme stressful situation. Now, granted, there are some people that can prep for shorter amounts of time, but they don't really hold that much body fat. You know, they're in the under 10% range. Like they walk around like that. They literally don't have to diet as long. But I do know that for me personally, and for most people, they need to diet longer, because the quicker that you jump into a prep for a short period of time, you're putting yourself in a position where, hey, I got to do that much more cardio. I have to eat that much less food at the start of my prep to be aggressive, to get to where I need to get to. Your body is going to be like, screw you. I don't want to hold on to this muscle, because you are going from 0 to 100, and you're going to put yourself in a position where it's just going to be really hard, to upkeep a lot of your progress, because you've only taken a short amount of time to diet. The other thing is just overall, like, you feel better. Now, honestly, 36 weeks is quite a bit of time to be prepping, but it's a lot less stressful than if I did a quick and dirty prep. And just because I expect slow and steady progress, when you have a quick and dirty prep, you expect a lot of progress week to week. And if you don't, you got to make some drastic changes to make it work. And I'm just not willing to do that, because that sucks. And so overall, my mental facilities, my mental game is strong. The other thing is, I feel like this is only going to help me when I'm done with my prep. I'm doing it nice and slow. Yeah, it's getting hard, but every prep is hard. But knowing that I've been able to slowly cut down, not be aggressive, the rebound effect that's probably going to happen for people that do quick and dirty preps is more likely to happen. I am really confident that I am going to do really well getting out of my prep and getting to a healthy body fat relatively quickly, and then slowing that down, and making sure that I can start performing to my full capacity in a building phase again. So honestly, I feel like you got to look at this as the long game. If you look at just prep as a short game, like, oh, I'm going to do this for short, I'm going to spend this much time away from the stage, like, it just doesn't add up. And it took me a while for me to really understand that you can't just expect to get lean in a short period of time, every single time you prep. But the biggest things are my macros it's oddly enough, it's getting close to where it was back in 2015 when I was prepping. And it's 200 grams of protein, 150 grams of carb, and 50 grams of fat. So roughly about 1830 calories a day. And when you start off at 3,600 calories a day, you're gonna feel it. But one thing to really think about is everybody is going to suffer during prep. Everybody's going to be hungry. Everybody's going to be tired. Your emotional state might go 0 to 100 one day, and then 100 to 0 another day. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of the beast. So for me personally, I told my coach I'm ready to be hungry. You can drop my macros, you can increase my cardio. It really doesn't matter. I'm here to do what I'm supposed to be doing. And although I'm a flexible dieter and I am very inclusive, or try to be very inclusive with my foods, at this point, like, I keep my foods pretty basic throughout the week. I don't want to have to think about it. So I actually, do plan out my meals. I meal plan for the week because I need to. If I don't, and I have to think too much at this point, it just sucks. Like, I have room for error, because I'm tired. And so, but I think that's one of the biggest things, the myths out there, is that people just eat whatever they want to fit their macros, even when they're like at this point in prep. Like, granted, there might be some, but to be honest with you, volume is key. I definitely try to get as much volume as possible. I like feeling full versus feeling satisfied for like 2 seconds. So, but the way that I have been able to enjoy is I just been a lot more creative. I kind of stick with something, like I'm really into like these flat out pizzas right now, because they're like really like macro friendly. And then I do huge salads. I pretty much have the same standard breakfast, and I keep these as staples because it makes life so much easier. Consistency, and feeling full. So, you may think that just because I post around like eating ice cream and all that stuff, that happens on occasion. It doesn't happen every day, because ultimately I want to make sure that I'm performing well in the gym and that I am feeling full as much as possible, because at this point I'm never gonna feel full. So, but that's just like the overall update when it comes down to where I'm at contest prep wise. Is I am down 31.9 pounds, and I still got 10, 12, and 13 weeks to continue to make progress. And fun fact is, this is the most I've lost in a prep. And I'll probably get into the lower 150s, hopefully the upper 140s. But ultimately, I could care less as long as I'm shredded. Weight on the scale means nothing to me. So things are moving along quite nicely. Energy is kind of falling apart, but day to day, that's fine. Performance in the gym going well. I'll just continue to ride that train until another adjustment gets thrown my way with my coaches. And I'm doing 5 days of 20 minutes of miss, so I'm keeping my heart rate around 130 beats per minute, and that seems to be going well. So outside of that, things should be continually progressing week to week as I make adjustments with my coaches. Other than that, the shows I will be doing, since I've never announced them, I actually registered, got my membership cards, got the tanning, got the hotels all done. First one is going to be April 15th, WNBF, Washington State, Emerald City Pro-Am, and then I'm doing the MPC Emerald Cup up in Bellevue, Washington, 2 weeks later, so I think April 29th is the date. And then 1 week after that, I'll be doing the UMBA Iron Angels and Iron Beast show as well. So all registered, all good to go. Things are moving along quite nicely. But thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. Other than that, peace.